Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to put together a standard IQ tester application. Let me show you guys how this works. Okay, here is the question, okay, which says which number logically follow 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. So I'm going to click on 36. Next question, the choice is yours. So let's go for honey. Next question, what is to book as art is to canvas? And the next one is I'm going to go for cube here and here. If John is older than Peter and Peter is older than Sam, who is the youngest? We go for Sam. And the next one is what comes after this pattern here. So we go for U, letter U. So let's check out my results. There we go. Okay. Your simulated IQ is 200, which actually put me in the range of the genius. That's good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start a new project. I'm going to click on File, New, and we'll first of all start by importing the following. So I'm going to say import Tkinter as TK, and I'm also going to say from Tkinter import the message box. There we go. And after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to then create my question for this IQ application. To take care of the questions I intend to ask my audience, I'm going to go for basic questions and I'll just create a dictionary there. Within the dictionary, I'm going to ask actually how each of the question that I intend to ask. So let's come right down here. Just gonna grab hold of this and write in here in a quote. I'm going to say question, okay, inside the dictionary. So um let's just ask a question here. Which number logically follows 4, comma 9, comma says 16, 25, and next? What's the answer to that? Okay, put a comma there. Then I'm also going to create an options. So the option will include the answers. So let's say we have options, and that is going to be inside a dictionary again. So that will be, let's say, 36. Then we have maybe 30. And we have maybe 49. And let's go for 40 there. Then I will create another one, and this will be the answer. Let's say answer, and that is going to be as follows. And that is, let's go for 36. Yeah. So my first question is in place. It should actually be inside a curly braces. Okay, that's my very first question, and I might as well just get it indented. Okay. And let's close our curly braces here. So that's my very first question. The next question will be right beneath here. So I'm going to copy this and just change things around. Okay, let's copy that, paste it right underneath here. Another one, another, maybe about 5 of those. So I'm going to speed it up and just change things around. Alright, this is how my questions look like now. So if you look at it in total, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions total. Okay, you can see the questions and my options inside a list and the answer. Alright, now that that is taken care of, let's create a class right underneath here. I'm going to just take that off. So I'm going to start by creating a class, and this class I'll just call that IQ app, class IQ test app. There, that's the name of my class. Then I'm going to define or create my function here, and this function is then taking the following argument. There we go. Next, I'm going to say sub.roots to give it a title. Okay, before the title, let me enter a name for it. So I'll just call that root. Next is going to be the title. For the title, let's copy this, paste, and I'll just say dot title. And the title, I can just call that standard IQ test and close that. Next is going to be the geometry. For the geometry, I'm going to make that about, let's say, 1000 plus. Okay, geometry, that will be 1800 by 1000. Yeah, let's go for 1000. You can always change it around. All right, next I'm going to create some variables that will take in the value. Okay, the variables that I'm going to declare will be the one that will actually keep track of the user score, and the other one will just be to keep track of the index of the current questions. So let's come right down here and just, I'm going to call that self dot score, and the value for that is going to be 0. Next is going to be the one that we keep track of index of the current question. So we can call that self dot current underscore q. That's going to have 0 value as well. Alright, now that that is taken care of, and next I'm going to create 3 widgets. So those are the widgets, one for my title, that will be for the title up there, and this one, that will be where the question will be displayed, and here these are meant to be the options. Okay, let's run this up. Right underneath here, I'm just going to run the whole process, and let's save it for now. Let's go to File, Save As. Yeah, I'm going to save it right in here. Just call it IQ tester underscore standard. Save that. Okay, I've actually rounded it up, and now we can even try it out now. But first of all, let's just change this, else it's gonna give me an error. That's how it should look like. Okay, let's take it from the top. Have a good look at that. These are all the questions I intend to add. You can add as many questions as you want. Alright, so that's just for the interface. Now let's run it and see how that's going to look like. Only this will be displayed anyway, so only the standard IQ. So let's run. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Alright, and next, what we want to do now, and next, I'm going to now create my radio buttons. So there we go. That's the radio buttons, although there will be nothing displayed on the radio button yet. Okay, let's run it and you see that. There we go. Those are the radio buttons there. Let's end that. I think I'm going to just press enter here so that you can see the rest of the codes. Okay, and right underneath here, I'm going to add a button. So let's add a button, and that button I'm just going to call text on it next. There we go. That's the button. You can see the font size of the button is also 36. So if I run it, we should have a button right underneath. There we go. Look at that. And that's so the next step now is next I'm going to create a function that will display the questions. So let's put this down. There we go. That is the function that will display the questions. And next, I'm going to create another function. Let's call this function here though. So right up here, I'm just going to say self.display. Self dot display question. So let's get rid of, just take off the, okay, that's fine. So I'll call that right away, and this is the function. And next, I'm going to create another one. Okay, this one is for the questions, and the other one that I'm going to create now will just be for next question. Okay, and if it's correct and if it's wrong. Then the second one or the third one will just show the answers. So let's speed that up as well. So I'm gonna just take care of that and get back to you guys shortly. And right here, guys. So I've called the next questions. So this function will actually handle the logic. So that is when you click on the buttons. Okay, and right underneath here, that is where the result and so on will be displayed. So have a good look at that. And finally, I'm going to now call this very next question here. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to save that. Control file, save, and let's try this out. Run. There we go. Look at that. Select the correct answers. Just see how that works. Alright, you can always change the questions, like I said earlier on, the choice is yours. So with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. Well, let me, before I go or before I leave, let me show you guys the questions again, or the layouts for this program. Those are the questions, and this is where I declare my class within a for loop to embed my radio button, display the questions, move to the next, and check for any error. And right here we have function that will show the results. Okay, so with that, guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can always join to become a member of the channel. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now.